Good evening. Happy Thursday. I hope you've had a great week. I am Julie with Creations by Julie. Tonight I thought we would make a Christmas wreath using an evergreen base and this cute Santa gnome that I found. The base I got at Hobby Lobby, and their stuff is 50% off. It actually was $11.99, so I got it for $6. And the Santa came from Nick's Seasonal Decor. If you're not following Nick, you need to do a search for Nick's Seasonal Decor and follow him. He does a lot of lives, and he's very fast, and he has some really nice products. He now has opened a warehouse, so he also sells supplies. So as you hop on, tell us you're here. Let me see if I can pull it up and make sure we're live and Facebook hasn't gone wonky. Here. Why is it when you always see pictures of yourself, Facebook gets those weird faces? We have a few people on. Let us know you're here and where you're from. And remember, the more you comment, the more you could get your name put in our little Christmas box. What happened to the front door? There it is. So what we're doing this month is for every live that I do, at the end of the live, Ed will go back through and just scroll through the comments and just randomly pick 3 names. Your name will go in this little box, our blessing box we'll call it. And then the first part of December, my first live in December, I go live on Monday nights and Thursday nights. So my first live in December, we will pick a name out of the box, and that person is going to get a craft supply box from me. It'll just be a mystery as to what's in it.
Miss Reggie's watching.
Hi, Paula. This is a good one tonight, too. Very simple, very easy. I've done a good bit of the prep work, so it shouldn't take very long. But anyway, the more you comment, the more likely you are that he finds your name. Also, you're watching it live if you see the little red live button. If you don't see that button up there that says live, then you're watching the replay, and that's great. Put in the comments #replay, and I will go back either later tonight or tomorrow sometime and pick one person out of the replay, put their name in our mystery craft box. And then for every time you share, if you push that little SHARE button down at the bottom and put this on your homepage for your friends to see, your name automatically goes in twice. So anyway, so we'll get started tonight. And like I said, my, what's the word I want to use? My inspiration for this particular wreath was this little Santa gnome. He's really cute. And like I said, he came from Nick at Nick's Seasonal Decor. So I have already cut my mesh. I'm going to be using this red and black plaid, buffalo check basically. Now mine came from Craft Outlet, but I believe I saw, this is a fabric mesh, I believe I saw that Hobby Lobby had some of it in their Christmas section. If not, you wouldn't have to use this. You could just use red or whatever you choose to use. And I'm not sure how many I'm going to use. Because see, we don't have the regular tinsel ties and stuff on this one. We're going to use our little sprig for our ties and for our ribbons and our mesh and all that. So I'm not sure how many I'll use. There's no set right or wrong way. It's whatever you like, then you do it that way. I did cut 20-inch pieces, and I use a rotary cutter. You can use scissors if you want to. Mesh does fray a lot worse if you use scissors. But any cutting tool that you have, I use my mat and a pair of a rotary cutter to cut mine. So, if you have any questions throughout the video, just put them in the comments and hopefully Ed will see them and I'll answer them for you. But I'm going to get up and move because y'all, when I do a wreath, you know that I like for you to be able to see exactly what I'm doing, and it just works better if I work from the side of the wreath so that you can see. I'm going to take our little snowman for right now. Santa, he's not a snowman. And I just threw my mesh all over the floor. it just rolls when you get it like this, but that's okay, I can pick it up out of the floor. So, first thing we're gonna do is put our mesh on and decide how much we want to put on. So like I said, I have already cut it, it's 20 inches, so I'm gonna move well, the first thing you're gonna have to do, number one, is check and see, with these you don't have a up or down, right or wrong, because they don't have any kind of hook or anything on them. So your wreath is going to come all squished down, flat. So the very first thing you want to do is to open up your wreath.
Zoom this out, it's too close.
Can you back up a little bit? Does that help? Sorry, y'all, if you're getting dizzy. He said that was too close. Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
So you want to just go through, just like you would your Christmas tree, and just kind of pull them all up to where it's kind of fluffy all the way around. And I'm going to kind of move it up a little bit so that I can show you what I'm going to do. Since we don't have ties and stuff on this one, and this does tend to fray just a little bit, I'm gonna fold this 20-inch piece in half, kind of, just overlap a little bit. That way you won't see any frayed edges, and we're gonna do a ruffle right up the middle, just like that. But your mesh, see, is basically doubled. So I took the 20-inch piece, folded it together, and then I'm just gonna take it, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on the outside. Just take two of these, use them like twist ties. That's basically what they are. I'm going to take two of them and just put my mesh in the wreath like that. Okay? Then I'm going to go to the inside. So I'm going to do outside, inside, outside, inside. And that's just to break it up a little bit so that I kind of get it evenly. So take of course it wants to curl on you. And there at 20 inches. Kind of take and fold it like that, where you kind of have a cylinder, and then just lay those cut edges down and ruffle it right up the middle. Then turn it over when you go to put it in your wreath. That puts the cut edges to the bottom inside. So I'm going to go about right here. You just choose where you want them. You choose how many, how full that you want it. You can get them to go that way. You can turn them and go this way. It's really no big deal. Okay, then I'm going to kind of push up the greenery around it, and I'm going to go about right here and put in another one on the outside. This is pretty much doing the same thing over and over, but I didn't want to do all of it ahead of time. I wanted you to be able to see the wreath the way it started. I think I cut 14 pieces of mesh. But see, you could use a red mesh. Wouldn't have to be the black and red. You do want to kind of make sure we're going to have a bark off, it sounds like. We've discovered that I think there's a possum getting in our backyard, between our yard and the neighbors that night. Okay, and then I'm going to come back here. So I'm going to go inside, outside, backwards and forwards. And I'm only folding these just to hide the cut edges a little bit. And you've already got a full base. You don't need to ruffle up the entire thing to. And once you get them on, if you don't like the way it's spaced, you add more or you take away. I'm just going to fill it up a little. And I may decide to add some more, who knows. Once I get my Santa Gnome on there, we're going to put a bow. And then we're going to put some ribbon tails and we'll be done with it.
Tilly and Penny's in fine form tonight.
Yep, there comes Penny back in. I've got the back door open. Maybe they want to craft.
said, not unless it's edible.
Yeah, there's something that gets out there at night and just tempts them. Okay, and then I'm gonna come back. I believe I cut 14 pieces, and I may not use all 14 pieces. You know, craft is very personal, and it's just what you like. But if you see what I mean, see how the mesh is, when you mess with it, it's beginning to fray a little bit. So it just does better if you can kind of have it hid a little bit. Oh, I forgot to say, this is a 24-inch wreath frame too. They do have smaller ones, but my gnome was pretty good size, so I
All it
figured.
just asks what size it is.
This one's 24 inches. And like I said, I believe I paid about $6 for it because it was $11.99. You can get them cheaper at Walmart, but these are just better looking to me. The wreaths are fuller and thicker, and they just look better. But this one would cost more to mail because it's going to be bigger. And I only have one of these, and this is probably the only one I'll make this year. I don't think I've done an evergreen in a while. I usually do grapevines, but it is Christmas, so we need an evergreen. It's kind of nice not to have to worry about exactly where you put the ruffles. And you put as many. I probably, 2, 3, that's going to be 4 on the inside, sort of. I definitely could add more, and I probably will go around and add some more to the bottom. Four will probably be enough in the middle, because we're going to do a bow, and we have the big gnome. So let me just add a few more. You could leave it just like that if you wanted to, but I've already got it cut, so we're going to add a few more. So I'm going to just add one here. And you only need, just pick 2, it doesn't matter what 2. Now I'm going to try to kind of get in between these right here. Add one here. And like I said, I mean, you wouldn't have to use this black and red. You could make this with just solid red. Or you could make one like this with whatever kind of attachment you could find. Gingerbread, you know, a wooden sign, a metal sign, any kind of stuffed animal, a stuffed Santa, a snowman. But I do like working with the evergreens. I think they make a very pretty wreath. You could just take the evergreen and buy some of the big poinsettia leaves and flowers that Hobby Lobby has, because they have poinsettias that are about this big around. And you could just put a bow and poinsettias all around it. But I saw Nick, he made a kit with this gnome Santa one night, and I thought he was really cute. So I ordered him. I ordered the kit too, but I hadn't done it. May not get to it this year either. Okay, we're going to add another one here. And then we're going to put the gnome Santa on there and see how it looks. You have any questions about using an evergreen? That's too close. I've already cut my ribbon tails. And I brought some extra ribbon because I thought might want to add a little white to it to brighten it up. Okay, so basically that's what we've done. You could add more if you wanted to, but I'm gonna put our gnome on there. Let's see. Now I have already fixed him to make him a wreath attachment. This is just styrofoam, so what I took are these floral pins that are like a wide bobby pin type thing. I stapled a pipe cleaner to the styrofoam, but you know staples are going to come out, so I put glue over it, put a piece of ribbon across there, and then put two, and that's not going anywhere. And then he's got a piece inside his hat, like foam and wire that you can move. So all I did was I didn't want, you know, to see it on the front, so I just ran a zip tie through there underneath that foam out on the other side. So that's how I'm gonna attach him, and then we'll decide what we want to do about his hat. He's got wire all the way up to the top, but just kind of check your wreath and have an idea of what you want now to be your top and your bottom, and then just
He needs a bigger nose.
he does have a pretty little nose, doesn't he? Now I'm just going to run the zip tie through here, and you only have 2 rings, so you want to make sure that you attach one side of the ring to the other one and the other. You see, there's only 2. There's this one here and one here. So I'm going to attach this zip tie to the inside ring, and then I may turn him. I'm not going to pull it super tight yet because I'll have to position him. And you may want to move your greenery, fluff it down. All right, and then I have the pipe cleaners, and we're going to put them through, catching the
D.
wire.
Wilford just came on, said sorry a little late.
That's okay, Dee. Glad you're here. Okay. And he's a little thicker there at the bottom because of that styrofoam. I just want to make sure I'm catching the, and I'm going to push my greenery down just a little bit so that he can go on there good. See, I want to pull him pretty tight. And just twist it, and we'll go back and change that later. Okay.
All that white washes his nose out.
Well, I could put a little, it's up to you as to how you want to do his hat. I kind of like that. Actually, his nose is not even a bead. I could pull that off and put a wooden bead if I wanted to. But it's okay. It's kind of a felt. All right, so the next thing before I put my ribbon tails in, I'm going to put a bow probably about here. So I'm going to make a bow for him. Let me get my stuff over here. And this particular ribbon looks like it does not have a right and a wrong. And just to look at it, it wouldn't. I mean, that's pretty much a dead-on match. But one side is a little fuzzy and one side's not. And I'm going to use the fuzzy side. It is winter. So I think I'm gonna let me get some tails first. And that's what I'm thinking, too much buffalo plaid. I may need to add some white. All right, so we're gonna do like 4 tails. And then I'm just gonna kind of make a funky bow right quick. not going to dovetail them or anything because I'm just going to lay them here to add to my bow. So I always just leave a little bit of a tail. Go ahead and get the right side. Form my loop and kind of see. That's a pretty good size. It is, the loop itself is about 5 inches, so it would be about go to 10 and then make a loop. But I don't usually measure. I'm just going to pull them. If they're close, that's good. So
It'd look good with a white shine, well, that off-white shiny bow. Because that's an awful lot of red.
yeah, I may have to add. I don't think I want to add it to the bow though, but I may add it to the ribbon. Can y'all, am I holding the bow okay? Can y'all see the bow? And all I'm doing is just kind of twisting and turning to where they're somewhat the same. I'm not going to do too many loops. Probably will have more tails than loops. Okay. Gonna go another one. So probably about 6 loops, 3 on each side. It doesn't need to be real big because we've also got the same ribbon that I'm going to use for tails to put in the wreath itself. Let's do one more. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take my tails, just add them to the back. Get my pipe cleaner.
There's a world of difference in what you see on the iPad and what you see on the phone.
You mean as far as size and everything?
Oh yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
a whole lot clearer. You can tell what you're doing better.
Yeah, when you're looking at it on the phone, things are really small, but that's where replay's good. You've got the replay. Always twist your bow, not the pipe cleaners. Okay, so, and I will go and cut these loops in just a minute. I don't want to cut the tails yet. Okay, so he's going to be kind of at the top over here. So we're going to put our bow right about here. I got to make sure that I don't just tie it to one of the green wreaths. It's got to go around this thing. You don't want to tie it so tight that it's squished into your wreath too much. Get the tails down. We'll decide what we're going to do with those in a minute. This is a wired ribbon, so you know it holds its shape pretty good. So I'm going to go now and kind of make sure all my tails are out a little bit. Normally you don't want these little tails any longer, you know, much further out than your loops. And we're not going to do anything to the long tails yet until I decide if I'm going to curl them, if I'm going to weave them into the greenery, just want these to be shorter. Remember, if you're going from the side that has the wire, you go down to make that dovetail. If you're going from the fold, you got to go up. I have cut many backwards though. Okay. So there's the bow. Now for now, I'm just going to flip those up. Okay, now here's the decision. I cut 12-inch tails of the wider 2.5. And I need to decide, I brought in 2 white ribbons. There's a sheer, and then there's the sparkly one that to me I thought might look really good since it's kind of a winter Santa Gnome. That might. But what I'm going to do is just take this, fold it, find the center, and just pinch. And I can put it exactly where the mesh is at, or I don't have to. I could put it somewhere different. So now I have to decide if I think I want to add a little white in there. So I'm going to cut one and see.
To me, it's got too much red.
Now this type of ribbon, it's too hard to try to do like the dove cut because this is also open. So I just do a normal cut on it. Let me add it on top here and see. Yeah, it probably needs that little pop of white. Don't y'all think? You could put Christmas balls there. That would be 2. 3. I'll just do a few of these.
Everybody's quiet tonight. Nobody's commenting.
Y'all got to comment or you're not going to be able to have your name drawn to go in the blessing box. Okay, so we're going to take one of these.
Brenda Bracken says, good evening, Lot. I caught you live.
Hey Brenda, I bet it's cold there. Texas has finally gotten a little cool. Okay, so let's come and put one up here. I think we're supposed to go down to about 40 tonight, from what I understand.
Brenda says it's cold.
I bet it is. They were saying on the news last night that actually the panhandle might get a little snow next week. Now this ribbon is going to have glitter everywhere. I can see it falling off.
Brenda says, wet and yucky in the morning. It'll be 32 tomorrow.
So rain, not snow, huh?
And Paula says she do like the white tails with the mesh.
Yeah, I think it kind of brightens it up a little bit, but it's messy.
Brenda said she blessed you, babe.
Thank you, Brenda. Okay. See, some of this is going to be hid a little bit, possibly with the tails of this, but that's okay. You know, one thing about this, if you can't find the exact little twist things, just grab another. Grab another one. I don't know that I'm going to put one on the inside there yet. We'll see. I'm going to put one on the outside here. But see, doing the evergreen, it doesn't take very long at all. You know, I could have added a little bit of this, you know, to the bow, but I think it'll be fine.
Paula Reiki said anytime you have glitter, it's messy.
Yep. And this is just little pieces. I put up my trees in the bay window this week, and they're flocked. And oh my goodness, I had snow all over the place.
Brenda Bracken says, I'm late. Where did you get the Santa hat, or is it a gnome?
It's a gnome. It's a Santa gnome, and it came from Nick, from Nick's Seasonal Decor.
Nancy back home wants to know, how long did you cut the tails?
12 and a half, these. I cut the mesh 20 inches and folded it. And didn't use as many as I had thought I might, but I might go back. But yeah, the tails are about 12 and a half. This is definitely a Christmas ribbon. Glittery and shiny. But it's see-through too.
Anna Barr and Sandy LaFrance just joined.
Hi ladies, thank you for being here. We are making just a really quick wreath with an evergreen base. You've got the fullness of your greenery, so you don't have to add a whole lot. Maybe a sign on one side. We have put a Santa gnome. Okay, I'm going to need to put one here. Oh goodness, this is some glittery stuff.
I still think his nose needs to be bigger.
It's almost hid totally. You could always, like I said, add a bead or something, or put some red on his nose where it showed up. But a lot of people don't like gnomes. So they would just maybe look at it and see Santa anyway. And you see glitter gets in his beard, that'll be good.
Brenda said those are fun to make. I bought a flocked evergreen and I have snow everywhere.
Yeah.
And the vacuum cleaner don't want to pick it up either.
No, it didn't want to pick up that snow. But it does, they are pretty. And I think I have some little greenery picks over there that I think I'm going to, can y'all see him? think I'm going to like add to the greenery to give it a little bit different color. Okay, I didn't put one right there, but I think I might. I may put one there and see if I like it. If I don't, I'll take it out.
When it says she loves the gnome, it could be a Santa also.
Yeah. Yep. But I just saw him and I thought it was really cute. Nick was using him to put in a kit. And it's something that not, you know, everybody else has, so. Okay, if I put one here, I may feel like I need to put one over here too. One more. Now, I think that's it. Then we'll decide about the tails. We'll probably just curl them. That way, whoever purchases it, they can either curl them or they can cut them off shorter. But I'm going to show you the greenery and why I think I'm going to add some greenery. But you could go everywhere I've added the ribbon tails and stuff. You could go put like some pit berries or, you know, Christmas ornaments. You could always do that.
Brenda says she likes it white.
I think it needed that little bit of white. Okay. So I'm going to take the tails and I'm going to go ahead and dovetail them in case people want to leave them just hanging. But I think I'm going to see about rolling them up maybe. I'm trying to kind of make them the same. Alright, if you want to roll them, you just start taking it. You don't have to do it too tight, but you just take them and roll them up. And I'm going to leave it for a few minutes. Roll the next one. You can't do this if your ribbon is not wired. And see, it was a fairly quick wreath. About 30 minutes maybe. Because you didn't have to do all that
24
to
minutes.
the base. But I already had the mesh and stuff cut, so. And I think that's plenty of mesh on it. I want to be able to see some of the green. Okay. And then you just want to take it from the inside and just pull it down. And that one didn't curl too much, but they will.
Brenda said that's awesome.
Okay, so can y'all see him?
Wait a minute, let me come up.
Oops, I gotta hold him up. That's the way you would hang him. And once you get him hung, you probably need to, once I get him where I can look at him, then I'll refluff the bow. And you could do whatever you wanted to with this hat. I kind of folded it down.
Brenda says she loves him.
I think he turned out really cute. And it definitely needed the pop of the white. And if you wanted to, you could get a pretty white ornament and put right there, white and silver. But let me show you what I'm thinking about too. I've got these picks. They came from Hobby Lobby, but it's just a different color green. Now true, it is a cheaper plastic, but if we wanted to just come in here and just hot glue, and I would just pull them off of there, You could even hot glue them around like that in the, it just needs a little bit of something to kind of break up, to put a different color of green. They stick out a little bit further, and you could just pull them and pop them in there anywhere you wanted to, and they would stick. So I probably will do that after the live. I will go and add this greenery to it a little bit, and the pine cones kind of help a little too. I don't know if y'all could see. Can you see the difference? Just adding the little bit of greenery, and I will just dip it in glue and stick it in there. I don't have my glue skillet in here. I have my glue gun, but I'll get the glue skillet probably in the morning and do that. So it just gives it a different shade of green. So I'll probably go through and put those like that. Does that make sense?
Douglas says love the green.
Yeah, it will just, maybe the pine cones give it a little something extra. But I mean, you can just put a little hot glue on it and put them anywhere you want to around there. So that's probably what I'll do. I'll finish probably those. And see, it gives it just a little bit more dimension. So, whew, okay. Now, I wonder how I did that. Okay, let me get my notepad, and it's going to tell me some names. I don't think Monday we had but like 2 people comment, so only 2 names went in there, except for somebody did the replay. So if you're not watching this live, you still can get your name put in the basket or the box by just putting #replay. And then, like Brenda said, she put it on her page, so her name will go in there an extra 2 times. Boy, there's glitter, little bitty glitter everywhere. Okay, Ed, give me 3 names.
Brenda Bracken.
Okay. Okay.
D. Wilsford. W-I-L-S-O-F-O-R-D.
W-I-L.
S-F-O-R-D.
F-O-R-D. Okay.
And Miss Reiki, Paula Reiki.
Paula. Okay, ladies. That was Brenda, Dee, and Paula. Your names will go in this box, and we'll be drawing out of that box. And then I'm going to pick somebody in the next day or 2 that does #replay. And then I'll go through, and anyone who, they don't want us to use the word shared, but, you know, anybody that put the video on your homepage, your name will go in there twice. So, and anybody who does it, we won't pick from those, but it'll go in there twice. So
Daniela Ford said very cute.
Thank you. I think it turned out really cute. I mean, buffalo, that's a pretty good size wreath too. It would have to go in a 24 by 24. And I don't make many big wreaths. It's just too expensive to ship them. But I got my inspiration from this little dude right here. And I'm going to have to watch Ed. He's just liable to be painting his nose red or something. Because he says his nose needs to stand out more. But anyway, that's it for tonight. Quick and simple. When you start out with a good base, I mean, you've got a pretty good size wreath here. And the white, it definitely needed that pop on there. So, all right, ladies. Well, that's it for tonight. And I will see you Monday. I have several really fun projects to show you Monday. Probably will not be Magnolia Designs because we're having an event Sunday all day long. There's different people with Magnolia Designs going to be doing things, and I'm going to do one. Everybody's has to be Christmas, and it has to be Magnolia design. So when I post the name of the page and how you could watch everybody, and it will be available on replay too. You can go back and just watch them later. But it's funny how maybe the same person uses the same stencil, but their project is totally different. So it's really a good way to see the different ways to be able to use the stencils. But we're going to be doing that Sunday. So Monday, I think I have a couple of like home signs, like Christmas decor, joy signs basically. I think both of them are going to say joy. But anyway, I will see y'all Monday night at 6 o'clock. And don't forget, if you're watching the replay, you still have a chance to have your name put in our blessing box. Just do #replay. Thanks, and y'all have a great night, and stay warm. Bye.